time to grow up. How Rip will lead the ranch in John's absence, explained by Yellowstone Season 5 Part B star. Rip Wheeler will have a more prominent role in Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone going forward. Rip, played by Cole Hauser, has been on the show since Season 1 aired in 2018. As a loyal member of the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, he serves as the foreman to the biggest ranch in Montana. He has also secured a strong relationship with Beth Dutton. Yet, after Kevin Costner, John Dutton IEI, left the show before Yellowstone Season 5, Part B could be completed, Rip will need to take a very different role on the ranch. In an interview with Screen Rant's Grant Hermans, Hauser explained how Rip's role will evolve in the second half of Season 5. The foreman will be taking over the family's ranch, while also attempting to support Beth through the potential loss of her father. His dual role should see him struggling with his chosen family's various enemies. Check out Hauser's full quote below. After 5 seasons with the show, Kevin Costner has left Yellowstone. Though he was arguably the show's central character, the star chose to leave the series after a reported salary dispute and major scheduling issues. Costner was too busy developing his Horizon, an American saga movie series, to focus entirely on the hit Sheridan show. That left the other characters in an uncertain place, as they would need to work without John's presence. Rip Wheeler is now in a position to take his role. Throughout much of his time on the show, Rip has been a follower. He is a loyal servant of John Dutton IE, accepts nearly any order, and willfully serves as a foreman with little hint that he could ever turn on the family. While Jamie has become more unpredictable, Rip's loyalty has only become more entrenched. Though he took a trip to Texas during the Yellowstone Season 5 part ending, Rip will likely return to take his place as the patriarch of the family. With John's absence, there is no more obvious replacement, given that even Beth has turned on family at times. It is no great surprise that Rip would be taking on a new role. After all, he is so dedicated to the Dutton family that he let them brand his chest with their symbol. It would be difficult to find anyone with such unfathomable loyalty, especially considering that the other family members have been betraying each other. A completely loyal servant is a natural leader. It will also be fun to see Rip taking a more prominent role in the show over even the Dutton siblings. Rip's new role is a natural step for Yellowstone and should work well. The world of Yellowstone has never been one to shy away from tough decisions, high stakes, and character evolution. As fans brace themselves for Yellowstone Season 5 Part B, one of the most anticipated shifts in the narrative is how the Dutton Ranch will fare without John Dutton at the helm. As John faces a time of personal turmoil and political responsibility, the question remains, who will keep the legacy alive? Enter Rip Wheeler, the ranch's stalwart enforcer, who's about to prove he's ready to step into the role of leader. Rip's evolution from loyal bodyguard to potentially the ranch's savior is both inevitable and a necessary part of the story. Rip's growing role at the ranch. From the very first season, Rip Wheeler has been more than just a hired hand or protector for the Dutton family. His unwavering loyalty to John Dutton, his fierce protection of Beth, and his dedication to the land have made him an irreplaceable part of the Yellowstone Ranch. But with John's increasing involvement in politics and his strained relationships within the family, Rip's time to rise is now. In an exclusive interview with Yellowstone Season 5 Part B star, the actor who portrays Rip, Cole Hauser, dives deep into the psychology of his character and the changes that are on the horizon. Hauser reveals that Rip's role in the ranch will expand significantly as he is thrust into leadership, and it will test him in ways he's never been before. Rip has always been John's right hand, Hauser explains, but with everything happening, he's going to have to find his own voice. He's been in the shadows for a long time, serving John and the ranch. Now, with John stepping away, it's Rip's time to take charge, and that's going to be a very different challenge for him. The burden of leadership. For Rip, taking over the ranch is no easy task. John Dutton is not just a figurehead in the traditional sense. He's been the protector, the strategist, the decision-maker for the family and the ranch. His methods have always been unconventional, often bordering on ruthless, but they've kept the land in the family and the ranch's operations running smoothly. The idea of Rip stepping up isn't just about managing the day-to-day of the ranch. It's about keeping John's legacy intact. Rip doesn't just have to manage the ranch, Hauser continues. He has to manage the family dynamic as well. He's not the patriarch. He never will be. But he's the guy who keeps everything running when it's at its most fragile. With John absent, Rip will have to lean into his experience and step up as a leader, not just a worker. This shift in Rip's role represents a turning point for both the character and the series. Fans who've watched Rip evolve from a hardened enforcer to a loyal family man will witness him take on a far more prominent role, one that will test his resolve and his relationships with others, particularly with Beth. Rip and Beth, the heart of the ranch. Beth Dutton, Rip's fierce and fiery wife, has been a driving force in his life since their relationship began. Their bond is one of the few constants in Rip's life, and Hauser explains that Rip will need Beth's strength and understanding more than ever as he faces this leadership challenge. Beth has always been Rip's anchor, Hauser notes. She's the one person who truly understands him, who pushes him and challenges him. Rip is a man of action. He doesn't have time to think things through in the same way others do. But with Beth by his side, he'll have to face the complexities of leadership. Her loyalty to the ranch and to John is unquestionable, but she's also going to push Rip to make decisions that will test their marriage and the family dynamic. It's clear that while Rip is capable of making the hard decisions necessary to protect the ranch, it's Beth's influence and her strategic mind that will help him navigate the more delicate moments. Their relationship, already a powerhouse on the show, will continue to evolve as they face challenges together, but also apart. As John's absence looms larger, Rip and Beth will have to rely on each other in ways they never have before. The weight of the land. One of the central themes of Yellowstone is the land itself, the Duttons' unwavering commitment to preserving it at all costs. For Rip, the ranch isn't just a job or a place. It's a part of him, just as it is for John. Hauser emphasizes that this connection to the land will drive Rip's leadership decisions, even when they come into conflict with others on the ranch. Rip sees the ranch as an extension of who he is, Hauser reflects. He doesn't just work there, he belongs there. The land is as much a part of him as his family, and he's going to protect it with everything he has. He's not going to back down from anyone who tries to take it from them. This drive to protect the land is what ultimately defines Rip's leadership. It's what pushes him to make decisions that are sometimes unpopular or harsh. But as Rip rises to take charge, Hauser notes that his character will need to learn how to balance his protective instincts with the needs of the ranch's future. Leadership is not just about defending what's already been built. It's about making choices that will ensure its survival for the next generation. A different Rip. What's exciting about Rip's journey in Season 5 Part B is how much of a departure it is from what viewers have come to expect from him. Rip has always been a man of action, a man who does what needs to be done without much hesitation. However, as he steps into a leadership role, Rip will have to start thinking about the bigger picture. This is Rip's time to evolve, Hauser says. He's been a part of this family and this ranch for so long, but now he has to think beyond the immediate task. He's not just the guy who takes care of things on the ground. He's the one who has to make the decisions that will affect everyone. It's going to be tough for him. Rip is used to being a man of action, not a man of diplomacy. Indeed, diplomacy is not Rip's strong suit, and Hauser notes that his character will face some difficult decisions when it comes to balancing the needs of the ranch with the relationships of those around him. As tensions rise between the ranch and outside forces, Rip will have to confront not just physical threats, but the emotional and political ones as well. The future of the Dutton legacy. As John's absence looms, fans are left wondering what the future holds for the Dutton legacy. Will Rip be able to carry the torch, or will the weight of leadership crush him? Hauser is optimistic about Rip's potential, but acknowledges the complexity of the task ahead.